Good morning, everyone. Bill Panoff here for Cruise Control. And joining us this morning is one of my favorites, Harry Sommer, the president and CEO of Norwegian Cruise Line. Harry, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Bill. And you're one of my favorites as well. So there you go.
It's really nice to see you again, and things are moving in a very positive direction since we last spoke. Cruising is back and back in a big way. 10 Norwegian ships are now back in service, and this will shortly turn into 11 with the Norwegian Pearl sailing from Miami December 23rd. Which itinerary from 2022 excites you the most?
Bill, well, first, we're excited to have our ships back in the water. I go back to a little more than 4 months ago when we had 0 ships in the water. And when we started up the Jade in late July, and now, like you say, 11 in the water, 12th coming. We hope to have all 17 up and running by early Q2. So, we have a plan. We're executing it. We're going to move something like 200,000 guests this year, which is tremendously exciting. Our guest satisfaction scores are through the roof. Absolute record numbers month after month after month. The staff on board the ship's doing a great job executing, and our guests are really, really happy. To answer your question directly, as I sort of diverted there a little bit, I love Norwegian Prima. It's our brand new baby coming out in July. It seemed like it was such in the far distance, and now we're delivering her like in 6-7 months. So it's like literally right around the corner. And she's running some cruises around Reykjavik. And those have proved to be, basically they're sold out, sold out not just for 22, but substantially sold for 2023 as well. So wow. I think we hit a nerve. People are looking to go to unique experiential places, and the mainstay cruise we have there goes between Reykjavik and Southampton and visits a bunch of ports both in Iceland and in Norway. And people really seem to gravitate to that.
Wow. The Adventure Alaska episode from the Embark TV series, which is phenomenal, it just came out. And after watching this, every episode, everyone is going to want to go sailing to Alaska. Alaska is a bucket list for many. What do you think travelers love the most about the NCL experience in Alaska?
Well, Bill, first of all, I want to thank you for watching the Embark episode. I have to tell you, when I first saw it, I was jealous. I want to be paid to go for a month to Alaska and get private excursions everywhere. Those two ladies on the episode just seemed to have a fantastic time. Yep. So kudos to them. I'll tell you, great things about Alaska. Obviously, wide open spaces, which many people don't have in their day-to-day life. Natural beauty, authentic community, absolutely breathtaking wildlife, animals, bears, whales, eagles, salmon. It's just every corner you turn is just more beautiful than the next. And as a company, we have invested in local sustainable development. Working with local communities, most recently in Ketchikan and in Icy Strait Point, to create new experiences for our guests, and our guests just simply love them.
I can tell you, I've been to Icy Strait Point, and I've been to all the ports in Alaska. And for me, there's nothing more authentic than to arrive in Icy Strait Point, and you really feel that you're part of Alaska the way it used to be, untouched.
Yeah, not a row of jewelry stores when you set off the ship, but actually a mountain. So, literally, you get off the ship in Icy Strait Point, and there is a mountain right in front of you. Exactly. With, like you say, beautiful wildlife. A couple of authentic stores and a cannery, which they turned into a factory right there in the port, which sort of gives you a little feel for old Alaska as well. We have the 2 gondolas now. One that goes into town, and the second gondola that goes up to the top of the mountain. Oh God, that's breathtaking. A little scary, but breathtaking.
Right. No, it's a beautiful spot. I highly recommend that. Honestly, Norwegian Sail and Sustain environmental program aims to protect and preserve the world's precious natural resources. What initiatives and current projects are in progress at the moment?
So, we've leaned into a number of different areas. We started out with the elimination of plastics and single-use items on board. That's accelerated. We continue to look at everything we do to eliminate, reduce, reuse where possible. We've put amazing new technology on pretty much nearly every ship in our fleet to reduce emissions. And the exciting things are still ahead. We're actively investigating new technologies. We're looking at LNG, but quite frankly, we think LNG is just a stopgap measure. We're looking at what the next technology is past LNG to try to get as close to carbon neutral as possible for our next class of ships after the Prima class. So lots and lots of work going on right now with the two major shipyards in Europe to see what propulsion systems we can use to truly make us close to carbon neutral.
Perfect. Harry, in May, Norwegian announced the dry dock enhancements were completed. Specifically, the Haven on the Norwegian Epic is taking luxury cruising to new heights. What luxury features in this space are most captivating in your opinion?
I'll tell you, it really for me is the design. I mean, you get this residential high-end feel. Like, listen, we think our cruise ships are beautiful, but when you go to the Haven, it's just an ultimate extreme elevated experience where you feel like you're home. The cabins are beautiful. They're large. They have all the amenities you'd come to expect in a modern hotel type of environment.
Sure.
And of course, the service levels are just extraordinary. I mean, you have a butler that basically follows you around all the time, catering to your every whim. I was just on the Encore last week for our annual sales meeting. My God, that was fantastic. We brought in 200 people from around the world, internal employees, to showcase the ship. Some of these people I haven't seen in 2 years. And the environment on board the ship is just so safe that you feel like you're in an alternative world. But to go back to your question, I get to stay in the Haven because that's one of the perks of being the president. And I have a butler there, and it's like anything you could want. You call up and they bring you whatever it is that you like. And it's truly an extraordinary experience.
Wow. I've experienced it. I can attest to that. And I love the butler idea. Actually, when I get back home after the cruise, it's a little disappointing because I'm asking my wife to bring me things as the butler did, and I'm getting zero response.
Bill, that don't work so well.
No, not at all. Norwegian's private island, Great Stirrup Cay, is nothing short of amazing and relaxing. And there are many luxury accommodations on the island. I actually visited it recently, and I actually want to stay on the island. The accommodations are so nice. Yeah. What are some of your favorites on the island?
So, as you referred to, Bill, the new Silver Cove area where we have private villas with a private lagoon. And beach area for our guests where we have butler service there as well, where we bring you refreshments in air-conditioned villas with private bathrooms. Simply spectacular. We're just in the process of finishing up a private pool area. So you hadn't seen that because that hasn't been unveiled yet, but that should open up in the next few weeks, I believe. So they'll have a private pool separate from everyone else as well. But we're not done. We have big plans for the island. We're going to be building our dock there, which should be operational in less than 2 years, in time for the winter season for 23-24. We're building pools. We're building stages so we can have shows on the island. It's truly going to be a resort type experience.
Wow, amazing. Harry, Norwegian is expanding NCL in Miami, obviously, to offer more Caribbean sailings. Which destination do you think the guests would most likely be drawn to? Are you the most enthusiastic about?
Yeah, so we love our private islands. You talked about Great Stirrup Cay. We also have a private island on our Western Caribbean cruises just off the coast of Belize. Harvest Cay, truly also spectacular, where we have villas there. We're building more private over water bungalows in that area too, which is going to be exciting. But I love all the places we go to. We go to Roatan, we go to Cozumel, we go to St. Thomas, we go to Tortola, we go to San Juan. We have a really nice spot in San Juan, not far from the old city. Of course, mainstays like Nassau. We're working to do some port development work in the Turks and Caicos, so we can go there a little bit more often. We have some new cruises that are going to be operating round trip from Panama that we just announced last week, that we signed an agreement, First Cruise Line, to sign an agreement with the Panama government to open up tourism there. And those can do some really, really exciting deep Southern Caribbean dives that go to Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, without lots of days at sea. Plus, you get to experience the Panama Canal crossing. So, really, we have a little bit of everything for people in the Caribbean, South, West, East. I guess we don't go north, but in all the other regions of the Caribbean.
I'm a huge fan personally of the nightlife on board the Norwegian ships. Which entertainment offering are guests raving about this year?
I got to tell you, the big shows that we do, like Kinky Boots, Jersey Boys, really, really get great reviews always. We're also introducing Six, the new musical about was it King Henry, I think. I should know this. Someone's whispering in my ear here, and the Six Wives, which I'm looking forward to seeing. I haven't seen it yet. And of course, the Donna Summer show that we're going to be introducing on Prima. But those big Broadway shows, people really seem to enjoy.
Well, you mentioned Panama, and the Norwegian Jewel obviously will be sailing on a selection of Panama Canal voyages, offering 12-night open-jaw cruises from San Diego, Los Angeles, and Cologne, Panama, allowing guests to plan additional vacation days pre and post cruise. I mean, it sounds really amazing. What do you think guests will enjoy the most about these voyages?
I think you get to go to different places, because people historically, you'll do a round trip LA and you'll just get to visit a few Mexican ports, or a round trip San Diego, or
Sure.
cruises from Miami. And similarly, just touch upon some of these ports. But when you either do a round trip Panama or an open jaw Panama, which you just alluded to, you just get to see more interesting and new places. So for
Right.
people that perhaps have done the typical, Eastern Western Caribbean cruise and visited Mexico and St. Thomas, and they want to do something a little bit more intense and go to new places, it really allows you to see places along the way. And listen, the Panama Canal crossings are always breathtaking. I mean, that's something that everyone should do once in
Sure.
a lifetime. It's a marvel. I wouldn't even say modern technology, because it's been there for over 100 years. But
Right.
it's a marvel of technology and just so much natural beauty, a little bit less developed than other places in the world.
Finally, NCL is bringing its newest ship to Galveston, Texas, with cruises starting in 2022. What can you tell us about the inaugural year sailing bucket list itineraries that you have planned?
Sure. So I already mentioned my favorite, which is the cruise from Reykjavik to Southampton, and I'm going to be on a version of that cruise when we christen the ship this summer. So we're looking forward to that. But I'll tell you, we're taking the ship to as many places as we can because we want to get the trade and media support behind that. So we're going to do a cruise in Barcelona, Southampton, Amsterdam, New York, Miami, Galveston that you mentioned, and Port Canaveral. So I think this is going to be the most inaugural type cruises that we would have done in the history of the company. This is a brand new class. It's super important to us.
Sure.
We're actually going to be taking a handful of our travel agency partners to visit the ship in the shipyard in March, sort of a sneak peek, because we haven't really showcased any live photos of her yet. So I think that'll be really, really exciting. And I mean, I just think the ship in itself is the story, but I'm so pleased that we're going to be able to go to so many different places to showcase her.
Now the excitement for everything Norwegian and NCL is here. What can we look forward to in 2022? Anything in particular?
Wow, that's a great question. Listen, we're working to continue to innovate, and we don't really talk much about the promotional construct or the promotion that we offer our guests free at sea. But, every year that goes by, we add more and more to the package. So it started out as being a package that allowed guests to have free open bar. And then we eventually extended it to specialty dining, Wi-Fi, kids free, shore excursion. We're going to be doubling the shore excursion credit on some voyages. We're going to be adding additional Wi-Fi packages to some voyages. But this last year, so it's going to be effective for 2022, we added a free air component. So now guests buy air for their first guest, get air for their second guest for free. And since the overwhelming majority of our guests fly to their cruise, we really think this is a great value to our guests. We're also looking at putting together a free at sea plus program. We're not ready to announce it yet, that even offers even more enhanced onboard experiences for our guests. I mean, basically put, we are not interested in a guest coming on board, sitting in their cabin and just going to main dining. That's not a good experience for guests. That's the experience that they might get on other cruise ships. We want guests to take our shore excursions, so we make it easy by giving them a credit. We want guests to have Wi-Fi because they like to connect with people at home, especially on social media. We want guests to experience our specialty dining so they get 2 nights for free. We want guests to enjoy the beverages, whether it's alcoholic or non-alcoholic, all included. We want guests to have a great time because guests that have great experiences on their ship have great times. They come back, they refer us to their friends, and it's a great, fantastic circle, a virtuous circle, to continue to make the brand better and better and better.
Harry, we are thrilled about all the developments with NCL, and here's to a very successful 2022. And I can't wait to get back on board with you and to sail very, very shortly.
Well, Bill, I am certain I'm going to see you on Prima sometime this summer, and
I hope so.
Sometime before then as well.
It's been way too long. I'm Bill Panoff here for Cruise Control. Thanks for tuning in. Harry Sommer, President and CEO of NCL.